If you want to create IGTV content, but the idea of it is stressing you out, overwhelming you, you want to create IGTV, but you want to do it in a way that is simple and doesn't burden you with loads more work and energy and time, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Bella Foxwell. I am an Instagram strategist and educator that drops a brand new video to YouTube every single Friday. If you're not already subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell button so you never miss a new video when it drops every single Friday. Now in today's video, I'm talking about how to create simple, effective, engaging IGTV. The reason I'm doing this video today is actually because it was a question that I got from a few people over on Instagram and on my YouTube channel. How can I create IGTV that is engaging and effective? What tools should I use for editing? And how can I create them in a way that isn't a huge time suck and doesn't take up loads of energy and give yourself more work? And this really resonated with me because up until now, my IGTV strategy has just been repurposing content from this channel that you're watching here, my YouTube channel, and just resharing it over on IGTV. Now, while this isn't necessarily a bad strategy, I am all about not reinventing the wheel and repurposing content where you can. I wanted to do a little experiment and see how creating content specifically for IGTV and not repurposing content that is made for another channel, I wanted to see how that worked and how that impacted my engagement over on Instagram. Because the current content that I'm sharing on IGTV, it's doing okay, but honestly, the format, the dimensions of YouTube content, it isn't made for IGTV, and nor is the actual structure of the video. The length of most of my YouTube videos are also slightly too long. So I wanted to actually do an experiment and see how I could create IGTV specific content. However, the idea of that, the thought of that, filled me with dread because I thought I don't want to give myself loads more work. Creating YouTube videos already takes up a lot of time. And so I thought this would be a great video to make for anybody out there who is considering creating IGTV content, but wants to know how to do so in a way that is as easy and seamless as possible. So that is what we're going to try and achieve in today's video. So what I'm going to do is I'm briefly going to walk you through my process before I start filming an IGTV. Then you're going to see me with a little time lapse create my IGTV, and then I'm going to walk you through the tool that I'm currently using to edit that content and then share on Instagram. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So first things first, as with any other video content that I create, for example, for my YouTube channel, I always make a plan. So for my upcoming IGTV, I've got my notepad here and my plan. The IGTV is going to be how to create consistent, lucrative Instagram content. And I've planned out 5 talking points for this video. Choose your content pillars, choose your schedule, theme your posting days so you share content that always serves a purpose, brain dump ideas into a monthly calendar, and then pick a day/time every week to create that content. So I've mapped out roughly what I'm going to talk about. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my phone up somewhere where there is natural light in front of a window, and then I'm going to film the video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to film it in clips. So when I do my intro, 1 clip, and then point 1, point 2, point 3, they will be separate clips. The reason being is that it should make editing this IGTV super simple, because if I want to add any overlays or transitions in between the clips, I can do so in a way that is much simpler than me trying to fiddly trim and chop the video in the right places. So that is what I'm going to do before I film. Now, I'll make a separate video on my advice for how to create a really engaging IGTV and the things to really think about if you're going to get serious about putting together a long-term strategy. But one thing I will say is that you want to make sure your introduction to your IGTV is as compelling and attention-grabbing as possible. So when I film this IGTV, I'm going to think about, how will I start the IGTV? Will I start by asking a question? Will I start by saying something a little bit controversial? Will I start with an honest confession? How can I start the IGTV in a way that will make people want to stick around and keep watching? And then I'm definitely, after I've walked through the talking points, I'm going to end with a really clear call to action. And in this case, the call to action is going to be telling people that they can drop an emoji below to if they are interested in finding out more about my upcoming live content workshops, where I get people taking action and planning out their next month's worth of Instagram content. So those are some things I'm thinking about before I go into filming. So in 1 second, you're going to see me set up, film that video, and then I'm going to walk you through how I'm currently editing IGTV in the simplest, easiest way possible. And then you're going to see me upload it to IGTV. So let's get to filming. So this is what you can see when you open up InShot, and that is the tool that I'm using. That's the app. So you click on InShot and then you click New, and then you will see all of your video clips there. So I'm going to select the first video clip and open that up into InShot. So there we go, and it drops it in there like that. Now I know that at the end of each clip I need to trim the end. So what I do is you just scroll along to the end and then you click on the trim button. And then that will bring it up like this. And then if you play back, I'm just going to pause. If you play back your clip, so you figure out whereabouts it is that you need to clip the end of the video off, or maybe you need to trim the beginning. It really depends on your clips and how good you are at filming yourself. It does take some practice. So you literally just move your finger along the selector and to either trim the beginning or the end, or to cut or to split. It is really simple. It might take a little bit of practice, but it's really, really intuitive to use. And so I'm going to trim the end of this video clip slightly, and there we go. And now I just go in and I add another video clip, and so on and so forth. And so now I've got the next clip added in. That's a fairly seamless transition because the beginning of the clip is fine. And so now I'm going to go in and add the next video. And so I just go on doing this. So something I wanted to show you is how you can add stickers. So I've got my video and I'm first going to make it the right size, the right canvas size for IGTV, which is making it 4:5, and that will fit in my IGTV perfectly. So I scroll along, I select that, great. Now, if you want to add overlays, the way you do that is you select sticker. What it will allow you to do is either to use one of InShot's own stickers, or it will allow you to add an image or a video, but in this case I'm going to use images, as overlays. So I've downloaded some overlays from Canva, which I just made sure were the right size as my IGTV. And I also included one that had a transparent background, so that when the preview of my IGTV shows in my main feed, I have a little continue watching sticker jumping around to encourage people to continue watching. There we go. And I'm going to drop that there, and then I can basically move that to be the right timing. So you'll see, there we go. So it's just going to drop it above my video clip. And now it's up to me to use my fingers to just drag the sticker to the right place. And I want to drop it to around the 16-second mark, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe sort of 14 to 16, because that is when the preview is going to then it's going to ask people if they want to continue watching the IGTV. So there you can see me just moving it into position there. So that is a little trick for encouraging people to keep watching. And now the next thing I'm going to do is add my first cover image, which is going to be the title of this IGTV. So I'm just checking now as to where that is and where the right timing is for me to add the sticker. And then when I get there, I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. I'm going to hit sticker, and I'm going to add a cover image onto the IGTV. So there it is. It is 5 steps to create lucrative and engaging Instagram content. So there we go. And so I'm essentially just going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep adding the images that I've downloaded from Canva into this IGTV. And let me show you now how to add a transition, because that is a cool thing to do. So there you can see on the screen where that little seam is. Right at the bottom, where that tiny, it almost looks like an apostrophe or a comma. That is what you would hit if you want to change the transition between your clips. So you're going to see me hit that now, and then it's going to bring up different transitions. And there are ones that are moving, there are simple kind of slides and whizzy glitches. It really depends on what you want. I have kept all of my transitions fairly simple, but again, it's up to you what you want. So, and then you can change how soon between the clips the transition happens. Once you have finished making all the edits to the IGTV that you want to in InShot, that is when you go up here to the right hand side, you click save, and then you have the choice of the quality of file that you're going to save. Now, of course, you want to make sure that you have enough storage in your phone. I had the issue when I did this that I actually didn't have enough storage, so you might have to do some deleting of any audio files like podcasts or images if, like me, you have lots and lots of these saved to your phone. But that is it. Now we have our saved IGTV, and what I'm about to show you is how you can add subtitles to your IGTV. Now, this is the way I'm doing it at the moment. When and if I find an easier way, I will share that with you. So what I recommend doing is setting up a YouTube account, and this is my YouTube channel here, and here is the IGTV that I uploaded. Now, obviously this isn't public, nobody can see it, but I've uploaded it into my YouTube library. And what I'm going to do is if I go up here and I click YouTube Studio, that will take me behind the scenes of my YouTube channel. And I go over to the left-hand side and I scroll down to subtitles, and that will give me the option. If you see again, all my videos here that I've uploaded. Now, if I click here where it says number 2, that will show me the subtitles that YouTube has added automatically to this video. And what I can do is I can go over here where it says published automatic and hit the little 3 dots and then click download, and that will download a subtitles file for me. I think I can also do it here. No, I can't do it for that. So it would be for this one. Now, obviously, YouTube subtitles aren't always perfect, but then what you do is if you can either, what I do is I go into Veed and I upload my IGTV, my completed IGTV, and then I add subtitles to it. So if I click Veed here, and I can't remember exactly how much Veed is a month, I will add it on the screen for you now. But the way that you do that is you add your IGTV as a new project, you hit subtitles, and then it will give you the option of uploading your own subtitle file, which I did here. And then you can go through, as you can see here, and edit the text to make sure that it makes sense, that any typos are corrected, that YouTube has made by mistake. And that is how I do the subtitles. Now, for the cover image of my IGTV, I use the old favorite Canva, and I already have lots of templates pre-made in Canva. So I'm just going to click on one of them. This is my IGTV template. And if I zoom out, you can see all the different templates that I have in just a second. There we go. And I've already made mine. So I've got some templates. I've got some templates here when I am repurposing my YouTube content. This is the template I use, but the cover image I have for this IGTV is actually this one right here, 5 steps to lucrative and engaging content. So I've saved that to my phone, and that is what I'm going to upload with my IGTV. And I've already written my IGTV caption in later. And so if I just show you where I've put that, I'm going to reschedule it now because I actually popped it into later yesterday, and I'm just going to make sure that I have it for today. So if I click month, here is my caption. Oh no, actually that was my previous caption. Here we go. 5-step content system. So that's going to be the title, I think, of my IGTV. It may change by the time you see me actually publishing upload. And here is the caption and the hashtags as well. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move that to today at 5 p.m. And you will notice obviously that the image with this isn't correct, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to have my IGTV all ready to go. And then I'm going to get later push this caption to me with the hashtags so that I can just copy and paste this and upload it. So let's get to pressing live on the IGTV. So what I do is I have the later notification that has pushed to my phone. So what I do first is I just go in and I open that up in Instagram as if it was going to be just a normal post that I was going to share. So Instagram feed, and I'm going to just go along as normal. I'm not obviously uploading this image, but what I want to do is I want to just copy and paste the caption, which I'm doing. So I'm going to select that caption and cut it. And then I'm going to go back and I am going to instead upload my IGTV. So I've saved that to my phone, and let me move that over there. So here it is. And if I click, oh, there I am talking. If I click next, it's going to give me the option of long video or short video. Let me mute myself. So I am going to click long video, and then there is my IGTV. And now I'm going to click add from gallery so that I can get my cover image, and there it is, perfect. And now I click next, and I'm going to copy and paste the caption into there, and I'm going to just highlight my title and cut that, move this all up here, and then paste that into there. So there we have it, and we have my captions, my hashtags in there, and I'm going to add it to my series, which is not YouTube videos, but which is Instagram marketing, and there we go. And now I am going to just rethink this. I'm going to have a check through there are any typos. I might tweak the title, and then I am going to hit publish. That's all for this week's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you feel a little less overwhelmed by the process of creating and editing an IGTV. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe and bell button so you never miss a new video when it goes live every single Friday. Don't forget to check out the links that I've dropped in the description box below. There's links to a whole bunch of other videos like this one, all about Instagram marketing. And there is a link to some cool freebies as well that you can get your hands on to help up-level your Instagram strategy today. I'll see you next week for a brand new video, guys. Bye.